Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome. I am super excited to be sharing with you today what to do and how to connect with your brand new Oracle deck. So we have received this in the post, or you've been out and you've bought your new tarot deck or Oracle deck for this matter. This is an Oracle deck that we'll be using today. Or you've even been gifted this deck. And I personally have been gifted this beautiful deck, and it's called the Time Traveler's Oracle by Denis Linn. So I was gifted this, and then I thought, well, what best to do is to share this with you all, what to do when you've received a new Oracle deck. So first thing I like to do is create a space. So I know that we're all excited and we want to get started and using it straight away, but you really want to create a space in order for you to use this deck wisely for really getting a good connection with your deck. Yeah, it's important to really do this. So I like to set a space, give myself time to really connect with this deck. I'm not in a rush, just want to love it. I want it to work with me, for me, through me, and when I do readings for others. So first thing I like to do is I've already staged this space, but I am going to light an incense stick because I will be using it more with my deck. So you may choose to, and this always takes a moment, you may choose to use incense, sage, you may choose to use essential oils or a clearing spray. You may have other ways in which you utilize clearing, and I use crystal bowls and Tibetan bells. So there's lots of different ways. Trust what you have. If you don't have anything, use your intention. The power of your intention is the most powerful tool in your magical tool belt. So I always suggest, and I will be using this throughout this process as well. I also have sage. I usually just pull off a leaf, and then if I'm going to use a sage to clear space, then I just grab one little leaf, because I am a budget witch after all, and I just want to use that one little bit. And it's the smoke that is the sacred part that will smudge or clear the deck and the space. So you might like to either use a little sage or smudge, or whichever you're using, herbs, to clear the deck, or you may choose to run it through the smoke of your incense. Now it's time to open. I did remove the film, but that can be a little tricky. So I'm going to take a moment, just show some appreciation for this beautiful deck. I'm going to open the box. How gorgeous. Yes, the band's still on. And I like to just take it all out. I'll pop the cover aside. This one has a guidebook. Not all do, so this is a great tool to have as a resource, not to use for your readings, okay? Just going to slowly, gently, nice. Oh, that's an easy slide off. That's fantastic. Beautiful. And I'm just connecting with it again. Oh. I'm just sharing how grateful I am to have this deck in my life. Oh, I'm really feeling this energy open up in my heart already, welcoming in this new deck. So that's really exciting. Now that I've done this, you can choose to sage the deck again if you so wish. What I really want to do is I want to connect with each card, and I'm going to actually pass each card through the smoke as a form of clearing. Yes, this can take a few moments, but it's okay because it's part of working deeply and closely with this deck. So as I'm doing this, I want to have a look at each card, and I'm literally reading it through because I've got a few little words on it, and I'm just showing some appreciation. These are beautifully, beautifully illustrated. They're really lovely. So I was just Egypt, like so gorgeous. So I'm just going to take a moment, pass each card through the sacred smoke. And you can choose to put them in different piles and really start to, look at that, miracles, beautiful. Start to mix up the cards because we will be doing a little shuffle. Beautiful. Abundance, lovely. I feel incredibly abundant to have been gifted this beautiful tarot deck, Oracle deck, I must say, because I'm used to working with tarot. And then to have been gifted an Oracle deck and the Time Travelers, it's quite exciting. It's quite exciting. So it is a small, slow process. And yes, you can do this quite quickly, but allow yourself time to connect with the deck. It's really going to give you more opportunities to, when you're working with the deck, like how does this card resonate for you? What imagery jumps out for you? What messages are you intuitively getting for each and every card? You don't want to like read the book for each reading that you do. I do suggest maybe perhaps going through it, especially with something so different. What was the the author's intention. What was her, thoughts and feelings? And this is a her for this one, which is why I'm saying her. But what is the author's, intention for writing this deck? What was their sentiments? How were they feeling? And you get a sense for that. And then you may get your own interpretation each time you do a reading or each time you connect with this deck. So this is a beautiful, beautiful deck. And it's very different to anything I've received before. So I'm really quite enjoying. I'm just going to give that a moment. You can fast forward this bit if you wish. As you can see, I'm just separating them into different piles. This is only a 44 card deck, so it won't take too long. This one's got a gorgeous tiger on there saying flexibility already. So purification, beautiful. Just another ancient Egypt, feeling the calling. Just give yourself a moment to sit with this. Show some beautiful, deep gratitude for the deck, for the imagery, for having it been gifted to you, or having the abundance to be able to receive a new deck, whether you've purchased it, whether it was gifted to you. However you've had this deck enter your life, know and trust that it is for a reason. This one says love, so that was perfect timing. This one's beautiful Uluru, which is the rock in the centre of Australia. I had the very great pleasure of visiting that site on my birthday last year with my divine partner. So I feel very blessed. And that's part of this deck, which is quite unusual for a deck that's not Australian. So it's very powerful, beautiful on the Silk Road. All right, my love. So now we've got this. I'm just going to mix it up together. You can spray them out on the floor and really give them a good mix. I actually wouldn't suggest the floor. I don't like to put my magical manifesting tools actually physically on the floor, but I would put them on a table, or if I'm placing them on the floor, I'd have a sacred cloth underneath them first. But with a few cards, sometimes you need a greater area. I'm just going to pick these up. And they're a little bit stuck to this table. I'm taking your time. Okay. Beautiful. Now I'm going to give them a good shuffle. So because my hands are smaller than the deck, I find holding them this way a little bit harder. So I just hold them lengthways in, and I find that I get to give them a good shuffle. You can shuffle this for as long as you wish. I usually wait until I feel complete. I usually wait till I get a stop from my team. So I've called them in before to support me through this process as well. So I usually just like to give it a good shuffle. And then I'm just going to connect with this deck again. I'm going to give it one more little sage, all right, through the sacred smoke, and I do it in an infinity symbol. You don't have to, that's absolutely quite fine. Just saging all areas and aspects of this deck. And again, I'm just going to hold it and place it close to my heart, say a little prayer, an invocation, express some deep gratitude, welcome it into my family, welcome it into my life, being so grateful that it's going to be able to serve me. And then I'll be able to do readings with others using this deck too, should I choose, or perhaps should they choose to. So I'm just going to give it a moment, connect deeply with this deck, and then we want to charge it. Yeah? So if you've got the guidebook with it, you can choose to also look through the guidebook and again get the author's interpretations of each card, and often they suggest different readings that you can do through it too. So as you can see, this one's got a little suggestion of a 4-card spread. As always, is this 3-card spread just before it. So getting some ideas for your readings, or as I do, I usually just put this to the side, keep it at the bottom of my box, and then I let it be there once I've connected with the deck. So you can choose to store it in the box, or you can choose to store it in a little beautiful sacred pouch or bag that you have for these decks, or you can leave it on your altar like I do with mine, and I place a crystal on it. And this one's a beautiful clear quartz, just a little seer stone that I've picked up, and this is quite a magical stone that's been with me for a number of years. And I've chosen a clear quartz because I can amplify the energy and the intention for this deck, and I just place it on top. And that can sit on your altar, on your reading table, or anywhere, or even by your bedside. So even in your dream state, you can start to connect with this deck and start to receive messages through it. So I think it's a very powerful way of deeply connecting with your deck. And then you can leave it there. So if you've got time and you wanting to connect deeper or give it a good cleanse, you can put it in a crystal grid, which I like to do when I'm not using my decks. Recharge them. Yeah, it gives them a good clearing, gives them a good charge. You can spritz them. I don't like to spritz my decks with water because obviously they're made of card and I don't want the dampness to impact them. I'm already living in a very humid environment, being in Queensland, Australia. As you can hear my accent as I say that. So I really want to connect deeply with this deck. So I don't like to use misting sprays with them. You can spritz around the room, definitely, but smoke I find, or sage I find quite useful. Then I'm charging my deck overnight. And then every time I utilize my deck, I use a crystal, I say thank you, I pop my deck up, connect with it again, give it a good shuffle, and then I might choose to start doing some readings. And I like to do them quite soon to start to see what this deck is. You can interview your deck with different card readings. You can pull a 3-card reading and say, well, what are you going to be used for? Really try some different ways to connect with your deck and how you're going to utilize this through your readings and through your life and every day, because they are here to guide us every day. So that's how I use it. I hope you found this useful. If you'd like a personalized reading with me, please feel free to reach out in the comments below. I've got some information in the description, and please comment how you choose to connect with your deck and if you found this information useful. All right, my loves, wishing you all the very best. I'm Aida Jasmine and look forward to connecting with you again soon. Namaste.